Okay, so something I want to say just right off the bat. So I feel like, I have people who were invited over for Hanukkah and they want to tell me the ways of Jesus. If you want to come and you want to hear the stuff that I am doing to reverse aging and stuff, that's fine. But don't come and start bringing in your beliefs and telling me, what I need to do and how I need to think and how I need to readjust and all this stuff. No. If you have something to say, go start a channel. If I want to listen, I'll go listen. But don't come in and start trying to preach to me. That's not cool. So, if you want to hear what I have to say about the health lifestyle, trying to improve your health lifestyle, then, I'll try and say more of that at the beginning. But, you know, especially you don't even have any familiarity with the rest of my content and then you want to come in and say some of this stuff. No, not cool. And so anyways, yeah, this is my page that I talk about the stuff that I find interesting and my viewpoints. It's my intuition, it's my instincts, it's how I look at life, and this is what I talk about. And don't bring in your stuff trying to tell me that I need to change. Go start your own channel. Go push your information somewhere out there, not on me. So anyways, today I thought that there was a abrupt change in my hair for sure. It definitely it looks like I've just like sprayed some sun in, like around my face or something right there. And it's just like a little bit lifted from the rest of the color. And you can see too, like how like the hair changes and it will, it's like the brown is filling in and then it's filling in, like this will be the last part. And it's so weird because it just gets darker and darker, but it's like, as it's happening, it's so gradual the way it just like starts permeating through the hair that it is it is hard to even see. Like that's why I'm trying to show it so much is because it's right at the end. And so you can just see how it just like just kind of disappears. And so anyways, it's like really making moves. Only thing too, and then I get these people too who come in and you don't even know if they're real accounts, and they'll start telling you, "Oh, you got to go read this, and copper's dangerous, and all this stuff." And I don't know. This stuff is new to me. There's so much stuff, it's new to all of us, and I am definitely somebody who tries different things and stuff, and but the only things that I think of that are kind of weird is like when I pee and if it smells like minerals. But I don't even know. Like today I kept on thinking, is this mineral smell? Is this coming from Stella? Like is this and then I start getting all paranoid, like, because cancer has a horrible smell. But I give her all these things to fight cancer. So I just know it's just constant attack. And so the and soursop leaves. That is one, and apricot seeds, if you are fighting like serious stuff like that, and the Sayak tea too. Let me think, because I was about to say something else. So the hair. Oh, okay. So yeah, because I kept feeling like my pee smelled like minerally. And so I thought, well, maybe I need to, like back off a little bit. I was like, it's not like I'm taking that much. Like, I don't know. I mean, even if my water was kind of strong, it doesn't make me feel nauseous or anything. I don't see how you could be like overloaded to the point like where you would become sick or something. But then I feel like these weird things inside of my body and stuff. And I was thinking, but that could be being things like readjusting and getting better. So I don't know. You got to pay attention to your own body. That's for sure. Any of the stuff that you make changes, you can't just do it blindly because somebody else did it. It's like, somebody following the next person off the cliff. You got to go out and learn as much as you can and try different things and see what works, see what doesn't work, see what feels good, and follow along with that. But you can't, there's not just like a set recipe. And then there's people asking me like, what do I eat and stuff, because when you're trying to detox your diet, then what do? How do you, because everything's full of poison. But that's why I start going back to basics. And even if you go back to basics, you still have interference. So but like getting nut butter to make the cookies, because you can cut out eggs, you can cut out um, you can cut out fat and eggs. You can just add some sugar. You don't even have to add flour. You can just add nut. I mean, it depends on what you're trying to make, but flour and baking soda, like it's minimal ingredients, and then it can have more protein because it's got nuts and stuff, and so nuts, and so that nut cookies. And so I make those and I'll eat those in the morning, like when I'm having tea and stuff. And then sometimes I'll make bread, and so that's flour, and you put a little tiny bit of sugar and yeast and some salt, and then just water. And so it's way more clean, even though they mess with the flour, they mess with everything. And so I make bread, and then I make beans all the time. I bet I'll make a batch of beans every couple days of some kind of bean. And I definitely have my favorites, but they're all good. Like all the different beans are good, and you can just do them kind of however you want with different spices and flavors. And they have stuff in them that is, it just makes you feel satisfied. It makes you feel like you have energy, like it gives you what you need. And then there's that whole thing on that documentary on Netflix about these people who are all over 100 or something, and there's a whole thing about beans on that is I don't know, you'd have to go watch it. I just heard somebody talking about it. But anyways, I've been led to eat beans for a while. But beans, when you just get dry beans, and then you don't have to add a bunch of stuff. I have been adding cans of tomatoes, and so then I'm still getting their cans of tomatoes. So that still got stuff in them. And every single thing, too, that you have happen in your body, too, can be that. And everything, I mean, Jesus Christ, some of the stuff that I have seen, people do videos of food that they just bought. This lady just bought this big old piece of salmon. Like, people going to buying these big-ass pieces of meat and got worms all in them. Ugh. Like, the food is so, and it's going to go like that because it's like how it's going to go out, you know what I mean? It's going to be like, so it really changes how you look at things. And then, there's going to be more truth coming out about food and stuff. Because like I was saying, like it became like this consumer paradise. Just eat as much as you want. Don't ever have to go out and catch it or get it for yourself. Because that used to be something where it was a celebration. Like they got some meat, and the whole group would split it up and they have a celebration because they got some. It wasn't like people lived a lot more off of beans and potatoes and vegetables and stuff. I think a lot more root vegetables, and then it depended too on your area. It had to do with the geography of where you were and what you lived on. And see, this is the patterns in our DNA. That's what people don't get. Like you have been here at some of these times. There's patterns in your DNA that it guides you, like how to eat and what to eat and stuff. That's why you got to listen to your body. You got to always be listening to yourself. Like you can't just because I say stuff about meat, you can't just stop just because I say. You got to find that desire in yourself where then it becomes easy. But don't just do stuff because somebody says. Do it because you feel it. And if you want to feel it, like if you're like, well, I really don't want to eat meat, but I keep doing it. Well, start putting your thoughts towards that, asking yourself, why do I need this meat? Why do I want this meat? What is it that, like, start asking yourself questions, and that will give you the answers and help you purge away so that you can go towards the direction you want. There's something that's holding you back, but you've got to find what it is and let it go. And so but you got to go through that whole process. And so, and then I do buy tortillas and make chips with tortillas. And sometimes I'll buy a bag of chips. But I try not to, but just sometimes I do. And then sometimes I buy cilantro and onions and peppers and make salsa. Sometimes I'll get cheese, and sometimes I'll have my bread, and then I'll make grilled cheese sandwich with the tortillas. I make tacos. Bean and potato tacos are really good. So there's lots of stuff. You just start getting more and more creative. But the thing is reducing the stuff, reducing your idea too about food and how you think that you need to eat. Because a lot of people think they need to eat different than they need to eat. And so it's more programming. So it's kind of like changing your program so that you can start being more free, and then plus there's a lot of things that just change. Like the more nutrition that you take in, the less your body is like craving food, craving something, like a lot of your cravings all come from this malnutrition. Your body is like needing something and it never gets it. And so it's constantly in this craving mode. And so you just keep giving more and more and more. And then people get frustrated because they're always hungry. And then they just keep getting fatter and they don't know why. And they're just frustrated. It starts making people not like themselves. It starts making people support the beauty industry with their diet sensations. It always supports the clothing industry when people are changing sizes all the time. So then you're always having to go buy new clothes, and then you work so hard to lose weight, and then you gotta buy new clothes, and so they like the fluctuation in there. So I think personally that they run it, just like I think that they run traffic and stuff. I think that they have a way that they are directing it all the time. And so, anyways, but it's all that pulling free from there. And then thinking about, like, what do you need to eat? What are you eating it for? What are your real goals? What are you trying to do? And just start being honest with yourself. And then don't be mad at yourself, like when you start being like, well, I just want to eat. I don't want to just eat something healthy all the time. Don't put so much pressure on yourself that you got to be so perfect. But it is hard when you start realizing there's poison. That is a big deterrent, I think, for so many people, where they start being like, oh, I can't eat that. And then plus there start being so many things where stuff started tasting weird and things started tasting different and stuff. So I think a lot of people started changing, and I think that's going to keep going. I mean, because there's still people who are going out to restaurants and stuff, and I think that stuff is going to keep turning in a different direction. I think there's going to be a shift, and that doesn't mean like we'll never have restaurants again or something, but there's just a lot of corruption behind everything that we've had going on. There's just a lot of corruption. And so everything just kind of has to fall apart. And then we got to rebuild things with integrity, and we just got to rebuild different. And so, yeah, there could still be people who want to have like a little cafe, and that's what they want to do, in a little town where there's a lot of visitors, and they have their little specialty sandwiches or something, and that's all they do is do that. And that's their business. I mean, you can have that kind of thing and just do a lunch menu. It's just building up. You don't even have to have a large menu. So there'll be a lot of things where it won't, because there becomes like there was like a competitiveness in restaurants, and then the corporate competitiveness, and then overextended menus, and then food weight. Like there's been a whole bunch of just nonsense that has gone on the whole time. And so it's going to go more into where people like think about being green or something, but really it's being more, less wasteful, less consumer, and more harmonious and more mindful. And so that is the thing that's happening. That's what's like happening in people to get them to start seeing different. But when you want to take action and take moves, then you got to find the places where you can do things comfortably. Like it took me a long time to get off of Coffee Mate, but now I'm off of it. And so everything, you just got to just take it at your own pace and just keep going in the direction that you want to head is towards your health. And apparently there are some people, I can't really for sure say, because I can't really for sure figure it out, but that they think that this is just about changing your hair color. Like that's all it's about. Like I don't think that they really get what you're saying about it and like the significance of it and what is happening in your body and while you're aging, and when you decide you're just going to accept aging, and that you are like just letting go of taking care of yourself. Like, and it's crazy too, because a lot of those people think they're taking care of themselves, but there's something that's not, because the way it seems to me, we'll just watch over the next year how things turn around. But the way it seems to me is aging is made up and it's not real. And so the people who are aging, there's something going on. So anyways, because I don't know, we'll just see. We'll just watch how it plays out. But the important thing with food too is like, I think it's just like basic stuff, like drink from copper, like get a copper cup and drink your water at dinner from a copper cup, and that's all you got to do. And then when you're cooking, start cooking more basic and cook with cast iron. Don't cook with Teflon and those kinds of pans. Cook more basic and cook with cast iron. And all the stuff with the oils and stuff, people got to figure out for themselves, because it's such a clusterfuck what they got going, all the oils and shit. But and butter, like everything to go back to the closest to basic as you can get. And so I even cook, I have cooked some stuff in just butter. I was using olive oil like crazy, and then all of a sudden it comes out, nope, that's all lies. They're just putting a whole bunch of different oils in there and all this stuff, and then this whole thing coming out like that we're using to cook our food, what they used to use to put in their cars, and it's just like, oh my God. So anyways, you just got to keep going towards taking care of yourself. And then I feel like your guides keep helping you. Like, there's a reason, like, my account suddenly came across all these people's pages. So your guides and stuff are guiding you. They're bringing stuff to you to set you in a direction. So when you start going in that direction, they'll start opening doors, opening your mind, helping you see things. Things will drop into your algorithm. It will start making it so you can see what you hadn't seen. But, it's just putting your mind towards that direction. That's like where people think it's like jumping timelines or something. No, it's just you putting your focus. You're putting your focus on your health. That's jump timelines. Now you're on a new timeline. Now you're on the timeline going towards your best version of self. So these other people who are just, aging great or whatever, it's like a whole movement. Whatever with their thing, they're aging. It's like, but you can stop aging. You can reverse signs of aging. And so you can change it. But they want to keep going. And then there's a whole thing too with it being like why they even created birthdays and stuff. Like I have reached such a point in the absurdity of us coming up with each year. And then how they even did the years and the calendars jacked, but how that we decided that that was like our age. Because I'm way older than 62. I'm like in the billions at least. I'm like fucking old as fuck. And and then the limitation on how you go through your life, like you're getting older, and the way that they set up all these like signposts to help you along the way. So you're getting older and older, and the generations are changing, you're being pushed out and all this stuff. Like they do all of that on purpose. So anyways, but you have to see it and recognize it. And this is a mantra kind of thing I have been doing kind of all day, is things is like the two different realities. Like you are doing things that make sense in one reality, it's not gonna make sense to you. It's going to feel like you're selling out, you're trying to please other people, you're trying to do something so you don't seem crazy. So when you are doing things in that, it is like you start seeing like it's not for you. And then when you are doing stuff that's for you, you seem like you're completely crazy. And people think you're completely wacky. And so to me, it is like I have to keep reminding myself is that my reality is going in the direction that I want, is going in a positive direction. All these other people, it's like they're hung up on, it's like the game is taking them through the ride. It's weird because like there's destiny and you get on, but it's like when you relax into destiny and you understand it, but it's like these people are trying to, it's like trying to fight it. It's not like they're relaxing and going with the flow of life. They are trying to manipulate it and move around and stuff. But I think we all kind of try and do that. Like it's like playing the chess game of life, trying to figure out like your next move and what you should do. And the only thing I think probably is like when you see it on a spiritual thing, like you sit and you think about it and sit in reflection, you watch the signs, what's the communication, and make your decisions based on that and go with how you feel on the inside, not with what other people have for their expectation or what other people want from you, because there is a definite difference right now. And so it's like you have to decide like if you're going to, go and please them and so you don't look crazy, or if you're going to, keep going in your direction and trusting the universe. And it is so foreign to the other people because they don't have any trust in the universe. And so they don't understand like this period of time to me is like the universe is about to show the value of trusting it. And so I think that all the people who were putting their trust into the universe and in letting go of the world that was there is going to get, there's going to be a benefit. Like the universe is there, there's going to be like bonus time. Like, and that is kind of to show the other people, like, this is the direction, go this direction towards the universe, towards trust, towards your spiritual side of yourself. Get out of this trying to be like, well, y'all have a credit score. Well, you're going to lose this. Well, you're going to lose that. Yeah, but when you're going to lose something, I know this is like rags to riches. Like I'm there, like, I don't know, but my daughter told me, that there could be some police coming to evict me. And so I don't know. This is like definitely like a chess game with the system as it collapses. This is like, oh, dodging over here, dodging over there. And that totally is also where you got to keep being like, okay, I just got to trust. I got to trust. Whatever's going to happen is supposed to happen. And however it plays out is how it's supposed to play out. And I feel like everything's getting close to playing out. feel like everything is beginning to, I saw, uh, there's like a whole big sellout with all these people selling their stocks. Like there's a whole big thing about that, but there was more going on with that too this weekend. I can't remember who or what or whatever, but it's like this keeps being this dumping stock, dumping stock, and I think that is like the lead in. I'm sure it's not. It's more like a white hat thing. It's like this lead in, this slow lead in, get people's attention. But there's people you're not gonna get their attention. They're gonna keep on them saying, you know, well, my credit score and this and that and all this stuff. It's like it's going to have to just go boom, so that they can see, like, oh my God, I've been trying to chase this credit score, doing all this and doing all that for what? It's gone, you know. So people are gonna have to go through that. A lot of people. You know, another thing that is really seems to be at the surface is this like phony social media kind of behaviors and stuff. And two horrible, like there's three horrible things like right now that I know about. One of them is this lady who has got this TikTok. I don't even know if that's the only account she has. And she has this little girl who's 3, and she's been exploiting her ever since she was little. And she does suggestive things with the child because she gets so many views and stuff. And she knows that it's all these pervs. It's all been pointed out. It's like a whole fucking big drama going on with that. And she's being like called out like right and left and center. And then there was a guy who was on his Instagram live and decided to murder his wife live. And it was really horrible, I guess, apparently. And the stuff he said and everything. Then there was a big high-speed chase. He killed 2 other people. Then he ended up killing himself. And, you know, so that was all social media. He was doing all this, like, live, too. I don't know what time the feed ended. But that is so out of, like, you know, any of those really disturbing kind of scary movies and stuff. You know, they will always have this feature of like somebody hacking in the system. The cops can't get there and they're doing these live feeds of murder. It's like, that's what the Red Room's all about. And like, see how they just, I don't know, there's just so much sickness in this world. It's so fucking sick. So that guy, then another guy, I guess, a popular TikToker who had like 1 million people following him, then he got mad in a domestic violence situation and murdered his wife and her friend, or his girlfriend and her friend or something. So he did a murder. So there's like all this, like that energy is like really, I don't know, it's going to make people like really question things. Like I think about all these people like have followers and stuff. There's 1 million people following that guy. There's all this stuff still going on about this boxer, and they're having this big boxing match today. It seems like they're just trying to distract from what Garcia was talking about or something. And there is, I think that there seems like there's a lot of people all of a sudden doing videos disclosing and whistleblowing and saying all sorts of dark stuff. And it seems like it seems kind of like the music industry, like that was really, I don't know, like I don't know how Hollywood works. It seems like when I kind of like when I think of it, it seems that kind of you know, like these people who have big dreams getting used. And at first it seems like a lot of them don't realize they're getting used. They feel like, you know, there's some goods happening and they don't realize they're getting used. But it's all just so much manipulation. And then, like I said, there seems to be so much sickness. Gosh, there's a lot of sickness coming out of there. And I just saw this biography thing of this one girl, and she was in that movie Can't Buy Me Love, and then she's been a child actress since she was really little. She was in a bunch of things, tons of commercials and stuff. And then around the time of Can't Buy Me Love, I guess she got sexually assaulted. Everything started going down. She did some more movies or whatever, but she ended up quitting and having problems with drugs and stuff. And so she just spiraled out of control, kept doing drugs because of the sex crimes that happened to her while she was young, trying to do the movies. And she ended up being strung out on drugs and then died a few years ago at 42 or something, or maybe 10 years ago, I don't know, it was, but she died at such a young age. And there's so many of those people, I see, that go, and people like you don't even ever hear about or know about. And then, they just were used and abused and stuff. It seems kind of like and I'm sure there's probably stuff with the movie part too, the movie industry, but the music industry, I just heard this one guy doing this whistleblowing thing. And so he got invited to go to lay some reels or whatever, make some music on one of those places. But some of those little studio places aren't studios all the time or something, or they have back rooms or underground place. Like there's more to it than just going and making music. And then so it's kind of like get people to stay and hang out, and then offer these weird sex parties, like really weird sex parties, like kind of like vampiric, like weird stuff, like I don't know, weird. And so these fetishy, pervy kind of sex things, like Diddy, I guess, was involved in a lot of that kind of stuff. And more people than just him, but a lot is coming out on him. But so that kind of, all that, it seems like that they kind of pull a lot of people into, like, to doing bad things through the music industry. I don't know, I'm sure it says, to me it seems kind of like man, I think about some of these, like that Steve Smith, or whatever that guy's name, Sam Smith. Oh my God. When you see like the old version of him and the new version of him, I just saw him walking through a thing. He was like, I don't know, is he supposed to be like a flamboyant Viking or something? Like, what the hell? It's also fetishy and so pervy and stuff. And that's what they just are trying to bring out. And then somebody was just talking to me about it was Amy, talking about that she was trying to watch this movie. And I had wanted to watch it. It's on Netflix, so I had wanted to see it, but I don't know if I will see it. But she ended up falling asleep, which she keeps feeling like that they are getting like drugged over by her in North Carolina. And because it just all of a sudden and just can't stay awake and just falling asleep and then sleeping for 12 hours, 13 hours. And but she was saying that it had so much sex, and that is the thing with all of the shows. They just put so much nonsense sex, and it's all just to make these new generations, these younger generations, to just not have any feelings towards it, to just, you just feel nothing. You just see sex, violence, you don't feel anything. And it's like they are washing people's development, their emotions. They're washing so much of stuff away from people. But this is this wave, though. There's this wave that's going to create a change in that. It's going to get people to see things different. And and then all these changes have to be being made. Oh yeah, and there's some person, I don't know who this person is, but they are making a bunch of predictions. And it seems like maybe they're from the Orient or something, the way it was written, but I don't know, because I don't know who it is, and I think it might be tweets. But it was all these predictions, and so they are predicting, I think it's 323, so whatever, in a couple weeks, that there'll start being this, there'll be a volcano, I think. Then there's going to start being these earthquakes in the Cascadia. That's mine. And so there'll be some big earthquakes. Like, that will be fucked up. These trees start falling to earthquakes. Like, fuck, man. Like, the past couple days, some big wind gusts have come in, and it's like, jeez, I gotta move. I gotta move. Like, fuck. Damn. So, but she was saying that, or this person was saying, they said there's going to be, the Cascadia is going to start, these big earthquakes is going to set up some tsunami, and it's going to set off the Andreas Fault, and it's going to end up ricocheting down to a 7 or an 8 in LA. So I don't know. I know that all this stuff is going to start happening. So, you know, and there's all sorts of people having dreams and all sorts of stuff. So, you know, and some people get dates wrong and some people get them right. But anyways, we're in this time of change. All this stuff is going to start happening. And I really should just start backing out. Like, I really should probably start backing. Like, I don't know. It's so hard to say, you know. I mean, like, it could be a couple more years. It could be that I would be able to, you know, I mean, if the, because even, like, while all this stuff is crashing, and so if they did this, whatever, this auction, and I don't even understand, like, so the bank auctioned it to the trustee so that the bank could buy it from the trustee to evict me or something. Like, I don't even understand what the hell in their all their stuff. But to me, it sounds like there's a lot of steps, and you would need to have their same corrupt system. And I think that there's enough interference. So I don't know. You know, this is something, we'll see how it plays out. But to me, it seems like because there's all this stuff changing, so they, I mean, they'd have to have, like, you know, they gotta have a cop come out and evict me and all that stuff. And I don't even know, you know, you'd think that they would write a letter or something and say you have 30 days to move. Like, I've not had it go like that before, because I've been foreclosed on. Like, the one time on my first house when I got my brain injury, like the one I was talking about, when I was losing all my stuff, and I went to Olympia, tried to talk to the senator. I tried to talk to several of them. I was trying to make changes when they were taking all the houses. I was out going to, you know, the whatever, the state capitol. I was going to the Capitol and I was involved in this group and stuff, and that was my thing, was about the house thing. And so I was trying to do something about that and get nowhere. And so the bank could take my house because my income had gotten reduced, and so they did. And in that one, they were selling stuff, and I felt like, man, I got to get out of here. And you know, and so I left prematurely, and then they turned around and started sending me letters and saying I abandoned the house. It's like, you're kicking me out, and now you're telling me I'm abandoning it. It was so wacky. And so then that was going on. And then in the other one, when I was getting divorced, and it was my husband's house in his name, and I lost that one. And so in that, it was, they were sending me letters that house was auctioned and it was gone. And then they said that it was, and I had gotten a lawyer. I had my lawyer. I had a different one I was talking to. Like, I was trying to do all this stuff to try and get the house and get it in my name and stuff. And so anyways, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So when they had auctioned it off, they had told me that was so rare that they don't even do it on the first one. That it takes them several before they ever even reaches the auction. And so they said that was rare. And then everything that they said that it would go a different way went opposite. And so they wrote to me and they told me I had to hurry up and move. I don't remember, it was like 60 days. And they would give me money if I would take all my stuff or something like that. And so, you know, I did that. And and then moved into the rental, and then they sold it out from under. So it was just like I was just on the move, on the move, on the move. And so now on this, it's like, I don't know, like I feel like I'm for sure being pushed to, because even when I'm standing there and I was looking out the window thinking, oh, I love it here so much. But then there's like other things that I don't love about it. I love my place. And then, but then the big wind gust that came in, and then it just hit me with like, oh God, the storms and stuff that are just going to start going down, because all this is going to change. And then it keeps having these big gusts of wind. And then seeing that lady's, or that person's prediction, it's just like, oh, I do need to probably start thinking about going, but geez, I don't know. I don't know, just kind of wait and see what happens next. I feel like things are going to make themselves more clear. Like there's not going to be so much guessing, you know. Things are going to start. It's like the fog will be lifted. It's like, it's kind of like we're coming out of the dark. That's weird too, because micro, macro, how much places, like, I think this is really foggy right now. Yeah, that's weird because there's like so much fog everywhere. But it is kind of like we're coming out of the dark into the fog to be into the light. And so in the fog, it's hard to see like where you're headed, where you're going, what's going to play out. And, you know, it's hard to see through the fog, but the fog is going to dissipate. You know, we're going to get clarity. We're going to see. And, you know, it has to do with when the energy just starts whipping back. And, you know, another thing too is what I've seen is this, you know, I like all the people who are doing the things. They're all doing the things they're supposed to do. Yeah, you know, nobody's doing what they're not supposed to do. They're playing their roles, even if their roles are kind of like, I like on this one, the one person where I said like her account was becoming so divisive and so border and get rid of all these people off the border, and libs are so stupid, and just politics, like all that, just constant divisive, hateful, laughing at other people. And you know, and she was getting people who are all supportive of that. And so then that builds people up more, where they like get all like, yeah, see, we think you're stupid. And so that is a certain energy. And I said that there's going to be certain energies that are going to probably go and play out, and some may play out in violence. And some of these things are going to, you know, be playing out. So she is down at the border again. There's some whole thing where they're slaughtering a bunch of cows or something. So they got a big group of people. First they were going to clean up after the fire. Then it turned into something else. Then it turned into something else. And now it's turned into this. But it keeps being like she keeps going to these different places. But then all of a sudden she said, you know, if people have any of those things that you put into these things, that they need people to start. I don't know. I went off of the video. I was like, this is what I'm talking about. It is going to be like, there's just going to be violence. You know, I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen with this scenario. I don't know. But you can see it building. You can see this coming. It's more self-righteous, more anger, more, you know, we'll take care of it ourselves. We'll solve this. It's like, this isn't what the universe is wanting. This is what you're doing to show yourself your own anger, your own bitterness, your own hatefulness, your own judgment, whatever it is inside of you that you're going to be showing yourself. As the universe, that's not how the universe does it. You know, in the universe, that's not the action that the universe wants. The universe doesn't want us all caged up, all separated in fucking zoos and stuff. It is our time. It's our free range. This is our time to, you know, go where we want, do what we want, be free, live the way we want. This is no more of their control. But because people are so dependent and don't understand how life could be without their control, it's like a step down. We got to go through the step down. So it's like this slow kind of like, okay, you can release it. You can let go. You can let go. And there's going to be so much of this slow process of people letting go of so much stuff, like so much. And I think it's like right there. It's like so close to the collapse. I saw somebody talking something about, like, I didn't even understand what the hell they were talking about. When they started talking about like XRPs and stuff like that, like XRP, the only thing I ever noticed about it is that they talk about it with this quantum thing. And so I don't even know, but there was some guy who was talking something about that. And so I thought it seemed like there's some kind of shift going on. And then the other thing with all these people selling off all this stock. So that is, and I was even thinking, well, if the stock market did crash like on Monday, and then I go to my appointment, see that doctor, that could be something where that doctor was like a lot more eager to, yeah, I'll do your thing right here, right now. Give me $1,000. Let's do it. Because that will be, because a lot of people are going to have investments, and when it crashes, they're not going to see it coming. They're not going to expect it, and there's so much ego involved in it too. Like to be so, oh my gosh, so trusting, not even thinking about like how, what are you paying attention to in life? Like seriously. So, but there's going to be a lot that will crash. So anyways, and it can for sure start tomorrow. It can definitely, Wall Street can open with things going down. Like we can have all sorts of chaos all week long. And even in through all that, as soon as the banks crash, they can't take anybody's houses. Like I don't think that they can right now. I think it's only these corrupt pockets. But also I think that the big thing is like when they all start doing this, all of these people calling me, sending me letters. Like I got a letter yesterday. I got a postcard. I haven't gotten any of the text. And so I don't know if this postcard and this letter are late. And because I haven't been getting the text, but text right to my cell phone. And so this bombardment of these people who wanted to buy my house right now. Just hurry. Just we'll buy it right now. Cash. We'll just buy it. And I was like, that seems so suspicious. Like they know that this really is not going to go anywhere. So that they got to make sure to like get me out of it. I don't know. It just seems to be something that just was like way extreme. So I was like, that just seems strange. And it felt like, they're trying to put pressure on me to make me just walk away the easy way because they don't want to go through all of the bullshit because there's way too many walls that they're going to run into. So I don't know, this is all, and I think it's state by state too. There's difference in the states of how it's going to go. I think it's going to show like different counties and stuff, how corrupt. So anyways, but if the Wall Street and all that shit starts crashing, we're not going to be able to go in and take anybody's houses. Nothing. Everything is going to come to a dead stop. Jobs. Nobody's going to go to work. There'll be no ways to go get food. There'll be no... oh yeah, and there's because it was something with the something weird Joe's doing, of course, because this is all going to be Joe crashed everything, and he's making moves, so that's another good sign. So he is changing the laws on some different things. So for people who I think do DoorDash and stuff, so they're changing some laws. They're doing some shit, and so this is. The domino effect is all these companies are selling out their stock. And so this is going to be just, keep going and going and going because Joe's going to take it down. Joe's going to destroy the economy. And, I don't know, maybe after he destroys the economy, he's going to have a heart attack on the stage and fall with his arm going up backwards behind him or something. Who knows what drama will take place. But, definitely this is about, this person is there to make him look a fool, because it is kind of like he was this bad person, but he got to stay in the shadows and put on this fake smile, and people trusted him. And now it's more of seeing his true self. Like, part of him, he doesn't give a shit about people. He's just a politician. And it's the weirdest thing, whether you have people who think that that's really him. Like, there's so many different levels to all this stuff. It just is so weird. So anyways, but I think that a lot is going to be playing out for sure over the next couple weeks. And there sure is a lot of people who are so certain that once this eclipse happens, like, I mean, you got people having dreams about the eclipse and stuff. And then it's like, I don't know, is this stuff they're just getting in their heads? Is this like a whole energy out there that's putting information into people's stuff to create, like, are the archons doing this to create fear? So that they're all scared coming up to this eclipse. So everybody's pumping out all of this fear and they're just sucking it up like crazy. Who knows? It's going to play out however it's going to play out. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And I just feel like that all the signs, everything is showing that this is like, we're in the stumble. It's like the stumble's already going in this direction. It's falling. All these people selling off their stock, all these changes in the laws and stuff that is, it's going to defeat the corporation, but it's also, it's going to make all these changes for us. And, but it is, how it's all got to collapse. It's all got to go down. And then it's all got to go through the whole part of, like, most people are not going to see it coming. Yeah, I mean, no matter how many times I tell my kids and stuff, they're still, like, I don't know, when shit starts going down, I don't know. I can't wait to hear some of these people's reaction. Be like, well, I didn't ever think it was going to happen, and then it did, and I don't know. But, it's going to happen. Just because it hasn't happened yet. It's been in the process of happening for a long time. And I think this is the part where we're going into the falling apart. Like, everything's about to fall apart. The Wall Street, the dollar, the government, the medical, all of it is going to just one after another. But definitely, if Wall Street and stuff keeps crashing all week, then whoever's houses are being foreclosed on or any of that stuff, that people are just got to just stand strong. Even if your landlord is threatening eviction. Like, there's so many things. We all have these different battles, and we all have to figure out how to come at the battle. But just don't come at it as like they're always the winner. They're going to win anyways, because I could have just, first card that they sent, first text I got, hey, I'll pay cash. Okay. I could have done it. And, but it just kept seeming like, seems like, because it's a lot more convenient if I could have just, have my house here, go out, find a place, and then move my stuff, than to have to try and pack up all my stuff, get a truck, move it, put it in storage, then go get a van or something, go out, look for a place, like all that. Just, if that's the way it goes, that's the way it goes. But yeah, it'd be a lot more convenient to be able to just leave my stuff here and then go out and find a place. And because I know for sure that I have to, that's what's opening up for me now. And that is, the universe is pushing me in the direction. Because that is the whole time I kept saying, the universe will show what's going to go down with the house. Like, it's out of your control. It's going to go the way it's supposed to go. It doesn't matter what you do. Those are your lessons. It's your opportunity to see things. But it's always going to go the way it's going to go. You don't have the influence like you think you do. And so, yeah, but I knew that if it was pushed in that direction, it was time. It was time. The universe was, but things will open up. Something will open up. I'll see. Something will happen. We'll see. But I just feel like I feel super positive, and I feel like I make no sense. Like, people would not understand me at all. Like, I am totally going towards this life that's not there. I'm going completely, my energy, what I'm doing, everything is going towards something that isn't there. Yeah, all the things that are here, it's like letting go of those things and going towards this other thing, which it would make no sense to people. Because it's like, well, you have this is what you're supposed to be doing. You have to do this. You have to save this. It's like, no, but this is already gone. This is like, there's something else opening. There's a different direction I'm going. I've got to, pay attention to the direction I'm headed. And what is my guides telling me? What is my preparation? What am I doing here? And so that is, I feel like I'm preparing for a life that is like, it exists in my future because I can see it in my future, but nobody else can see it. And when you talk about your life and your future that nobody else can see, you sound crazy. And so, but, when you can see it and it's there, you got to keep going towards it. And that to me is a part of this learning, this growing, is to learn how to trust your vision, your direction, not all of the distraction, not all of the stuff pulling at you and telling you, no, this is the truth. This is the only way it can be. You can't do this. You can't do that. It is learning to trust yourself and to go in the direction that you feel is the right way for you. When other people, they may not understand it. They may not, that's all their own journey. That's all their own stuff. It's not something like, I think so many people feel so much like you got to convince people. You got to get people to see what you see. Just like these people who come into my stuff, I guess, to listen about something else. I don't even know. I mean, I don't even know if they're just people who are coming in just to interfere. I have no idea. But, coming in and start telling me, like, how to think, how to look at things, what I need to do, like, hell no. Like, you definitely don't understand my content. Like, I'm all about sovereignty. And you coming in and trying to control me and tell me and judge me, like, I feel like it's absurd. I don't know. I just think it's very strange. It's like these people coming in and telling me, like, I need to go find Jesus and they're going to pray for me and all this stuff. It's like, everybody, you've got to be comfortable in your own relationship with your own creator. Don't come and try and spread what you think on me. I'm not coming over to yours and spreading on yours. I am just here speaking my truth. And the people that are aligned to my truth come in and listen and communicate and talk to each other. So you come in and start telling me or anybody else how we have to think or what we need to do or any of that stuff. Like, you have your own relationship with your own creator and what you believe. You got to be comfortable in what you believe. Don't push it on, don't come into somebody else's, especially when they have completely different beliefs, and come in and start pushing and telling them they're wrong. Like, that is, I'm just, sometimes I find people shocking. Like, it's strange. It's strange how there's just so many aspects to all of this stuff. But people have got to see themselves. Like, and then, I don't know, even, somebody can come in and start trying to preach to me about love and light. It's like, you definitely don't know my attitude about that. So you may want to listen to a couple more videos before you start trying to tell me how to think. So, yeah, I think that is, that's where people got to have boundaries. Like, I've got no problem. Like, if you have got issues with me and you can't seem to pull away from me, I can block you. So you don't have to see me. Like, if you want to listen to what I have to say, you don't have to listen to my beliefs if they're just too out there for you. I'm not trying to push them on you. If you just want to hear the stuff that I'm saying about your health, then you can listen to that, and have to be adult enough to be able to withstand the rest of it. And if you can't and you feel such motivation that you need to tell me how I need to talk or think or look at things or whatever, that is not, no. I have no need for that energy. There's so many people who are so like energy vampires. Like, you need people to think the way that you think and be the way that you think that they need to be so that you can be comfortable. You better get used to being uncomfortable, because we're all different. We're all unique. And you can't sit there like this. I don't know. Maybe this is your process of being able to release this categorizing, you know. But yeah, don't include me in this nonsense. Like, no. Yeah, I was. If you do keep, if you harass me, and you keep saying stuff, I will just block you. This is more of a, to me, it's more of a positive place where people can talk and communicate, talk about what's working, and then people can meet people in their areas. Like this is a networking, communication, supportive kind of channel, not this. And it's all about sovereignty and healing and growing and finding yourself. So you don't come into a channel who's all about finding yourself and then start telling them that how they need to be. Like, that is just, that's ludicrous. Like, it makes no sense. So anyways, before you start commenting, you should probably understand who and what they talk about. So, anyways, but through all this process, you got to remember to love yourself and love everyone and have a loving day. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.